Ryan Hirota. He's one of the VFX soups, Vanderside for Scanline. And we're both kind of talking about this, that I think earlier in your career, you go in expecting that you're working on your own movie rather than somebody else's. And it's usually the more senior you get, the more you realize, no, like we're part of a machine and we all have our role to play. We can be creative, but ultimately it's aligning with the director and producer notes where necessary too. I'm just kind of curious for you, having a lot of experience as your own artist self, is there a lot of experience you've been able to bring over to both working on set, in terms of communicating with other talent and other operators, DP, director, AD, as well as being on the box too? Like, what areas have you been able to leverage making your own films that you could then use in visual effects, both on set and on the box?
Yeah, it can definitely, this is honeymoon phase, and then a year in or so in this career, you kind of realize that a lot of the time you disagree with notes you've been given or with decisions that are made way above your pay grade, right? That is something you just kind of have to live with and still maintain a good attitude. I think that's incredibly important.
Yes.
That you're still positive when you show up in dailies and make suggestions and just try to make the best out of the situation, make the best product that your show can be, given the parameters set by the studio or the director. But honestly, that's exactly why I started my own creative endeavors, is because as an artist, it really depends on the show, of course, but there are shows where you kind of feel stuck for half a year and it's not creatively satisfying, right? I've definitely brought a lot of my that creativity over to my supervision work, because things do change as soon as you get to the sort of supervisor or even producer level, because suddenly you are a partner in the filmmaking process, and you do have input, and you sit down with, if you're vendor side, you sit down with the client or the director, and you try to figure things out, and that actually happened a lot on my last show, Foundation, as well. That experience, like I just said earlier, of having run my own sets and having gone through the process of, I have this idea. I now need to make sure that I can visualize it and I can convey it, and it's edited nicely, and I pick the right shot types and the right lenses and all of that. That's incredibly valuable. It's also valuable as an artist, I would say. You definitely have less freedom to move often, but if you have certain know-how about, say, I just mentioned lenses, right? If you have know-how about how cameras work, how cameras are used on set, what emotional impact a long lens has as compared to a shorter lens, that kind of thing, then you can have much more productive discussions in dailies and make way better decisions. Or, you know what, even if you disagree with a note, you can then go away and address the note. And if you have an extra hour, then go, I'm going to try something else. And then you come back to dailies and you present both options. And that's something that usually impresses me for sure. Even if your own option is not going to work for the show, I'll still be impressed that you did it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That way you're able to follow direction, but at the same time be able to think creatively and suggest alternative solutions. So yeah, no, I think it's so great.